Welcome into the In the Money podcast for KeenelandSelect.com. I'm Tom Leach, along with Keeneland's Director of Simulcasting, Jim Goodman. We're doing two podcasts for this Saturday. This one on the three graded stakes at Santa Anita. The other one on stakes races at Gulfstream and Aqueduct. And on that Gulfstream Aqueduct podcast, we will also give you our selections for the cross-country Pick 4, which is part of that Fox Sports 1 telecast linking up two stakes races at Gulfstream and two at Santa Anita. And right off the top, Jim, we should also remind folks that it's another round of Derby future wagering this weekend, right?
It's actually the second pool. They had an early pool back in November, but this is the first one where you've actually got some horses that have run. They're a couple prep races. So, yes, 24 betting interests, 23 individual interests in the field, which will undoubtedly be the favorites. But it opens Friday afternoon and then closes Sunday, I think, at 6 o'clock. So you can bet it either before the couple of the Robert Lewis or the Withers, or you can wait until after and see if your horse doesn't run very well. You might get a better price, but it's pari-mutuel, so it's not going to close until Sunday at 6. So it's probably better to watch the prep races than try to get a bet down on Keeneland Select or come up Keeneland.
Jim's pick in the Sam F. Davis last week, his best bet was Ocean Knight, very impressive winner, and I like the horse a little bit that ran second for a price, so hopefully you did well there. And then we both like Conquest Two-Step to run well. And the horse that I picked in that race out at Santa Anita, Secret Circle, ran second. Conquest Two-Step paid a nice price. So hopefully you had some success last weekend. Hopefully we'll give you some more this weekend. Let's start with the Grade 3 Robert B. Lewis Stakes. It's the fifth race for 3-year-olds going a mile and a 16th. And you got two big favorites here in Firing Line and Dortmund. Where did you land?
Well, if you watch the LaSalle Futurity, those horses finished ahead apart, and Dortmund was the huge favorite coming in. He went off at 3-5, and Firing Line was better than 3-1. I don't think it'll be that much difference today because Firing Line was pretty impressive. And interesting jock change from Bejarano. Mike Smith started on this horse, and then Bejarano rode him in the LaSalle Futurity. Gary Stevens picks him up today, and nobody rides better at Santa Anita than Gary Stevens. So I'm giving Firing Line a chance to turn the tables on Dortmund. I'm not a huge fan of weight shifts, but there is a 5-pound weight shift with Firing Line. Only having to carry 118 versus 123, they carried equal 121s in the LaSalle Futurity. If you get past those two horses, Rock Shandy ran pretty well in the Sham, but he was beaten 4 1/4 lengths by Calculator. Calculator's pretty impressive, but Rock Shandy never was going to win that race, but he took a huge step up from the turf races that he had running before. So if you're looking for a price there, I think he's the only alternative to Firing Line and Dortmund. But I'm going to take a cold exact with Firing Line over Dortmund.
I'm like you on those top two. I think that the jock change to Stevens is intriguing. I ended up trying another price in here, not really for the win. I think Firing Line or Dortmund will win it, but I'm going to try basically to split them in the exacta with a horse called Hero 10 All. He was second to Dortmund at 6.5, and I think this horse is better going longer. And had some trouble in the Sham, and I'm going to give him a shot and just box him with Firing Line and Dortmund, and hope that he could maybe get up for second at a decent price. If that would be my play. I doubt I'll even play the race. It's not probably much of an option there, but if you do, that's my suggestion. The seventh race is the Grade 2 San Marcos on the turf at 1.25 miles for 4-year-olds and up. And I took a horse that was a real nice winner here at Keeneland in the fall meet in Allowance Company, Quadrivium. Off a couple of allowance wins, went out to Santa Anita for Graham Motion. Kind of had a dull race, but that was in his 4-year-old debut. And now he's 8-1, and Motion puts him back in a Grade 2 here. And that suggests that there's some confidence there. And, you know, if you somewhere close to 8-1, I'm going to take a shot on that one because the other three that I would use in here with him in exactas, Finnegan's Wake, Dynamic Sky, Patriotic and Proud, they all come out of the same race. They're all kind of the same horse, it looks like, essentially. So I'm going to try Quadrivium to win and key him with those other three in exactas.
Yeah, when we handicapped this race, I felt the same way you did with that the San Gabriel race. It's hard to separate the top three. Finnegan's Wake, Patriotic and Proud, and Power Pad all ran right with each other. I took Dynamic Sky, though, because if you go back and watch that race, he didn't have room to come through. And I thought that Dynamic Sky has a chance to step it up. He had run 99, 99, 102 buyers last three races in the fall, and he comes back and runs a 96 with trouble. So if he takes a step up from there and runs a 103, 104, I think he's better than those horses that come out of that race. I'm going to take those three and just say they are the same horse. And that's why I really like Dynamic Sky here, because he had trouble. He would have run a better figure. He may have won the race. And I think you're going to get a nice price because he didn't win the race. And he might go off 4-1, 5-1, something like that. Nice betting race. I'm going to take those three below. You make a good case for the horse coming out of the Keeneland race, Quadrivium. He run on turf exclusively overseas, and they tried him here in the dirt. And I think he kind of surprised some people winning at Keeneland and Laurel, and then they bit off more than they could chew in San Pasquale. So back to turf, which is probably what he likes better. So I'm going to take Dynamic Sky, though. I think he's got a real shot.
And for the cross-country pick 4 that we'll give you a ticket when we do the other podcast for the East Coast races, but I would use Quadrivium in here. I'd use Finnegan's Wake and Dynamic Sky. Probably Dynamic Sky would be my second choice. Finnegan's Wake the third. I'd toss Patriotic and Proud. He's got 10 second-place finishes, so not the kind of horse I like to take in a horizontal wager, so you could save a little money, I think, and leave him out. Let's go to the 8th race, Grade 2 San Antonio at 1 mile and an eighth, 4-year-olds and up, prep for the big cap. And I'm going to single Shared Belief for the pick 4, and I think he's going to improve off the Malibu, and I think that was just kind of a, get a race in him effort. This will be another step toward the big cap. I don't think he's going to be cranked up for his A game, but I think he'll be better than he was in the Malibu. I'm going to probably take a stand really against California Chrome. Opportunity, I think, is the one to beat. Tonito M's an interesting price horse because he had a bad trip last time, and I think he's maybe a little better than that last race showed. But Shared Belief is going to be my single for the pick 4. What about you, Jim?
I agree. I've always believed that Shared Belief on a level playing field is better than California Chrome. I think I'll never be convinced that he wouldn't have won the Breeders' Cup Classic had he not been slammed at the start. And he didn't get a shot in that race, and that's the only race he's ever lost. So I think Shared Belief is better than California Chrome, and I think he'll show it. I do agree that Opportunity, I'm going to use him in pick 3s and pick 4s just because Baffert's got a habit of upsetting the apple cart. So if he's going to do it, Opportunity is really good right now. So I think the last couple of races prove that he's the real deal. He's improved a lot from his 3-year-old season. So if Shared Belief and California Chrome get all the play, you might get a price on Opportunity, and I think it might be worth it. But Shared Belief, I think, is the best horse in the race.
Reminder that we're going to be doing a second podcast for the stakes races in the East, the Gulfstream and Aqueduct stakes races, and make sure you check that out. For Jim Goodman, I'm Tom Leach. It's the In the Money podcast for KeenelandSelect.com.